Hi, welcome back to the Tom Morgan Drum Studio. Today we're going to do a little technique exercise that has kind of been forgotten by a lot of people. And, back in my day when we learned the rudiments, we often practiced them from slow to fast to slow again. We called it open, closed, open. And there's real value in doing that, especially with rolls, because I'm going to show you the long roll, and the long roll is just a double bounce roll, but you start out slowly, and so you're really going too slow to bounce. So you have to play what we call wrist control, a separate wrist action for every note you play. So you start out like this. But at some point, you're going to get fast enough as you speed up, too fast to be able to play it all with wrists. And so you have to switch over to double bounce. Okay, one wrist action for every two notes you play. So there has to be a place, you can only play wrist control so fast, you can only bounce so slow. And there has to be a speed where you can do it both ways. Or if not, then when you do this from slow to fast to slow, you're going to have a gap, a speed you can't do it either way. So you have to practice getting your wrist control faster and being able to bounce as slow as you can. So I can also do that wrist control. So somewhere in there, I'm going to make the transition. Now, at first, you have to think about it, but over time, you kind of get to where you're not really sure where you shift over to bouncing. It just kind of happens. So here's how it works. I'll play the long roll for you. Okay, so here I'm obviously using big strokes, wrist and arm together. And as I move forward, you'll see I'll start actually using as much wrist. And I'm still going to use my arms. Now somewhere in here, about here, I make the switch to bouncing. And again, it's hard to know exactly when that takes place. And now notice what's happening. I'm using wrist, but I'm also, as I get faster here, look at what's happening. My elbows are moving, and I'm actually moving my whole arm from the shoulder. And that's what gives you the power in a double bounce roll. If you try to do this only with your wrists, it's not going to be as powerful sounding. Okay, so now I'm starting to move back to the original speed. I'm slowing down. My sticks are coming up higher, and I'm going to get that there. I've switched to wrist control now, and I'm going to bring it to an end. And for some reason, traditionally, we always ended it with one stroke with the right hand. Okay, that's a great thing to practice because it really makes sure you work on the whole spectrum of tempos that you can play a roll, from very fast or from very slow all the way up to as fast as you can play. Now you can do this with other rolls. I could do it with, say, the 7-stroke roll. All right, so any roll that you know how to play and you're practicing at an even tempo, like which is of course a very good way to practice it as well, try practicing it from slow to fast to slow. That would be a really good way to do it. This record I've had for many, many years, and I don't know if they're still putting it out or putting it out as a CD or something, but this record is really worth getting a hold of if you can find it. It's called the 26 Standard American Drum Rudiments and Selected Solos as played by Frank Arsenault, the national champion rudimental drummer. And of course he's long passed away now, but he was the champion rudimental drummer during I guess around the 60s, 50s and 60s, and he is awesome. And he plays all 26 of the standard American drum rudiments from slow to fast to slow, and then he plays some rudiments or some solos that are the old traditional solos like Connecticut Halftime, Downfall of Paris, Three Camps, and so forth. There's several others. And so if you can find a copy of this, and I bet you could find it on Amazon or something, it's worth having, and it's worth practicing along with this record. I used to do that when I was learning, and it really helped me a lot. So I wanted to definitely let you know about this recording. All right, so give this a try. If you like this video, please click like, please subscribe if you haven't, and hit the bell so we'll be able to tell you when the next video hits, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.